Hosanna to the Lord. We shall rest from these battles and give our God praises. We shall rest from these troubles and give glory to God. We shall rest from these battles and shout hallelujah. Hosanna, Hosanna to the King. Sing Hosanna, Hosanna to the King.
He is the valiant man at war, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the valiant man at war, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the righteous judge at court, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the righteous judge at court, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory.
Man at war, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the valiant man at war, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the righteous judge at court, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the righteous judge at court, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory.
Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest.
From this battle and sing our God praises. We shall rest from these troubles and give glory to God. We shall rest from this battle and shout hallelujah. Hosanna, Hosanna to the Lord. Hosanna, Hosanna to the Lord. We shall rest from these battles and give our God praises. We shall rest from these troubles and give glory to God. We shall rest from these battles and shout hallelujah. Hosanna, Hosanna to the King. Sing Hosanna, Hosanna to the King.
He is the valiant man at war, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the valiant man at war, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the righteous judge at court, the mighty man in battle. will give us the victory. He is the righteous judge at court, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory.
Man at war, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the valiant man at war, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the righteous judge at court, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory. He is the righteous judge at court, the mighty man in battle. He will give us the victory.
Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest.
Hello. Thank you for tuning in. This is State House Press Secretariat discussions and updates. I shall be your host for today. This is the premier edition from the State House Press Secretariat of the Presidency of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. I am privileged to host this first edition. Dear viewers, we are on ABC Amber TV, state and national news and information television station. As guest premier edition, we have Dr. Yaya. Dr. Yaya, you are welcome.
Thank you, President. Thanks for hosting us tonight. Greetings, fellow Amazonians.
All across the world and especially I'm going to say.
Yaya is the State House Press Secretary at the Presidency of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. Also joining us today, we have Comrade Waters. Comrade Waters, you are welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. I think I'm so delighted to be here today. And Merry Christmas in advance.
Comrade Waters is as our Assistant State House Press Secretary, Presidency of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. And as yours for today, I am tuning. Please stay tuned. We promise you will enjoy this program today. Let's start with this self-examining write-up, verification. What have you done for the people of Amazonia? Each and every one of us should self-verify. The Amazonian War of Restoration is 4 years. 4 years of everyday resistance. 4 years of everyday endurance. 4 years of ghost town. 4 years of pain and suffering. 4 years of death. 4 years Cameroon Republic has built the blood of our people. Please, everyone, we are calling on you to self-verify. What have you done? What have you done for the people of the Southern Amazonia? Thank you again. And once more to Yaya and Fondo. I say welcome. You are welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It looks like we have a problem of volume.
We can hear you.
Is our technician there because I can't hear them. Yeah, while technician is working on that, let's see. Comrade Yoya, if you can hear me, can you get us back on the phone so that we continue with this very important program for today?
Sure, I can hear you very well. I'll try calling our very able technician, Pastor Danny. I'm not sure our viewer hear us.
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I do. I'm getting you.
So,
I'm
Comrade
getting
Jeff,
you quite loud.
Yes, Comrade Walters, can you be a little bit audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, me from the phone. Yeah, can you hear me?
We can hear you very clearly, Comrade Jeff. Just, I think let's just proceed.
I am having some difficulties hearing you. Yeah. Hello, yeah.
I can hear you, Comrade Jeff. Can you
okay, you can hear me. Let's manage with what we have now. Start this discussion with our people. Dr. Yaya, the State House Press Secretary, we are in the festive period and end of year festivities. What message do you have from the interim government to our people in the refugee camps in Nigeria? Our people as in the Cameroon and our people on ground zero who are braving and surviving being killed by the Cameroon Republic.
Thank you, Comrade Jeff, for hosting us once again. Good day to Ground Zero, Ground One, and all our people around across the globe. This Christmas, usually in a normal setting, you will all be rejoicing and jubilating, but we're doing that this time with a lot of reservation because we know that our people are truly suffering, and therefore we really want to reach out to them to tell them that we are with them. First of all, thanking them for the sacrifices they're making, because they're paying the ultimate sacrifice with their lives. You know, they're going through the pain and torture of uncertainty, of poverty, of hunger, of displacement, of sickness, you know. So we just want to tell Ground Zero, Ground One, thank you for standing there for us. And we also want to give them courage that it's a good fight, it's a just fight, and therefore it's worth being patient. There, amidst the darkness, there is still a ray of hope, so we shouldn't give up, and we are together. And coming back to your question, what the interim government has done to tell the people of Ground Zero that we have them at heart. We have seen constant messages, starting with the president's outing 30th of November, addressing or making that day a Heroes Day for our restoration forces. That is a huge acknowledgement, telling our people, we know that without you, this struggle is dead. So that is one of the ways. And we also have the various departments coming out really strong with drives in order to tell Ground Zero and Ground One that we had had. The HSS came out in grand style about 2 weeks ago, raising funds to support the refugees and the internally displaced persons.
Yeah, thank you.
Making sure that. So can you hear me? I don't know whether the audience can hear me. Comrade Walter, can you hear me?
I can get you.
Okay.
Yeah. Comrade Yaya, I'm very sorry that I lost the audio, so I had to allow you. Right up to now, I can only follow you guys from my phone.
Okay.
Okay.
But
so I don't know whether you should connect on the phone so that we go on from there.
I'm not sure.
I don't find it a problem.
Yaya, are you connected on the phone? Waters, can you get Yaya on the phone?
Yes, I'm getting Yaya quite clear and loud.
But do we have, is anybody following whether there are commentaries from people watching the program, whether they can hear us?
Okay, yeah, sorry for that, sorry for that mix-up. Let's continue, and I will only follow you guys from my phone. Yeah, Comrade Waters, war is very traumatic. War is very traumatizing. Only hearing the firing of a firearm is traumatic. Our people have been rained with bullets, with machine guns for 2 years now. Do you have any word of encouragement for Ambazonians on Ground Zero on what to do if they are anxious about hearing the firing of the gun, hearing the firing of the machine gun, about this war?
Oh, that's a very good question, Comrade Jeff. I just want to acknowledge your presence each time as a host, as well as also to welcome Senior Comrade Yaya. I want to say that nobody on earth will tell you that he actually loves war. But we will also acknowledge the fact that war is a solution, or once they call the last straw that will break the camel's back. You see, it is even those who manufacture arms themselves. They know very well that these arms that they do manufacture is not a bad thing, but to test the efficiency of what they have been manufactured is always the problem. And so war usually comes at a time when people have been able to go through peaceful diplomacy to see how they could come out with a kind of comprehensive and just way of living, or reach some understanding has failed. Then they are left with no other choice but to use the other means, which is only by force, and that is what war now brings in. Looking into our case, I will say that revolution, especially the one which we are facing now, is not something that we should take it as something unique or something that is very special to the people of Southern Cameroon. It is special, yes, in the sense that we have to liberate ourselves. It's a historical issue that has happened to other nations who are enjoying their freedom now. All those who are in diaspora, from all the host countries, those countries have gone through war and they are now enjoying their liberty. Let me use Britain, which is one of the architects of our problem. The glorious revolution of 1688 is a very glaring example. When there was Romanization of the nation, the British man was unsatisfied. And after using all peaceful diplomacy, they didn't succeed. The whole Britain marched into the street, and there was mass destruction. There was a lot of problems, and at the end, the British man emerged, and now they live in freedom. The French man, which is the most devilish of all, the French Revolution, the main cause was not a shortage of bread that pushed the whole French people to the street. and they ravaged the country, and they now took their freedom. What about Southern Cameroon that has gone under 57 years of turmoil, discrimination, looting, and all sorts of phenomenon that you can imagine? This, I could tell you that is even more than sufficient, that if there is any word that I could describe as modern war, then we merit to take that challenge and give a meaning and bring a what they call order as well as manners into our territory for our offspring and for our well-being and collective courtesy. So we want to say that what we are doing, we want to encourage each and everyone. That is why even the mothers, the grandfathers, our daughters and our sons, everybody has come to understand that this is the only way in which we need our liberation in order to give a meaning to our nation. So our encouragement is that for 2 years now, we have been able to withstand the giants. If this tells us that we are capable, so we encourage everyone to keep on with that spirit, and it's not going to be long. I hope that this is very important for each and everyone to know that war is a necessity. Even if you look at it biblically, God himself empowered Moses, empowered the Jews to fight to reach the promised land. And so we are not going to be different. And this war, you know, is ordained by God. And that is why we are following the trend, war, through the biblical approach. And that's why victory is not far. So I call on everybody on Ground Zero to be very courageous and strong.
Thank you, Comrade Waters. Yes. What is the interim government of the Federal Republic of Amazonia doing regarding our people on Ground Zero and our people on Ground One during this festive period? What has the interim government put aside for these people?
Am I taking this question? Because I don't think I completed it, Comrade Jeff.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, I'll just go ahead and speak. Like I mentioned, we have seen lots of movement, you know, from the interim government and through the departments of health and social services. They've been doing a tremendous job, you know, raising funds, out to refugees in Ground One, and also to our displaced persons, internally displaced persons back. So we're just trying to make that Christmas, at least some people will have some smiles on their faces. And we've also seen that move also from the Department of Women's Affairs, who came out really strong last week, you know, trying to generate funds in order to support those who lost sons or partners during this war that was imposed upon us. So the is
yes, can you please, can you appeal to Amazonians of goodwill?
Of course. I mean, what else do we want to tell people? I mean, if anybody has got a conscience at all, you don't need to be convinced. We saw kids yesterday going on ABC Amber TV on count to lobby and mobilize for funds in order to help their fellow who are being beaten sex or snakes, who have no access to any health care whatsoever. If this doesn't touch your heart, if this doesn't move you to say, I'm going to do my best, you know, to fund this revolution, or at least, you know, help the people who are suffering, then I'm not sure what your heart is made of. Remember, we call it war today, but actually we did not start a war. It is genocide. The Rwandan genocide never ever happened, but today we are seeing this repeating itself under the very eyes, the auspices of the international world. They had been silent from the start. It's been 3 years of crying and protesting and shouting and reaching out to the world to say, look, this is genocide happening again under your watchful eyes, after the promise to the world that this would never happen. But thankfully, through great leadership and the efforts that all you Amazonians put out there to reach out to the international world, they are starting to listen. They are starting to act, and that is led us now to the Swiss-led talks, which is, an international process in a bid to seek for mediation in order to bring the suffering of our people quickly to an end. My fellow people, just think about the next person. There's this African phrase, Ubuntu. I am because you're doing well, because you have a good car or a good home, or you're doing fine. You should always think about your community, because your community raised you up. We grew up in communities where it's just not your parents who are responsible. So please, we have to learn to give back. For those who don't believe in the cause, for strange reasons I can't understand, at least think about the humanitarian side of things. These innocent kids who are now forcefully parents to parent other kids, they did not ask for this. People stood up, assumed human rights to protest for a better life, for better system of education, for better legal system, and they went out with peace plans, mind you, with peace plans, and they were met with, raining, of all sorts of ammunition. So at some point, you have to stand up and defend yourself. I cannot stand and watch my mom being to Leslie a shot, and I just stand and watch. So that has pushed us to that phase of self-defense, and that's where we are. And this is the genesis of the humanitarian disaster. So I'm not sure why people need to be convinced about this. It is a straightforward case. We have everything on our side. We're peaceful people who protested within their very rights. We were massacred. So we should stand up, the world should stand up and say no to this genocide and bring the suffering of our people. And talking to my fellow Amazonians, please just simply dig down into your pockets. Whatever you were doing in excess, just cut half of that and put the rest in the struggle. If you're having an extra makeup, well, I seem to have makeup, but this is all makeup. I choose not to buy anything new because I don't really need it when people are suffering. That extra piece of shirt, or whatever you plan to buy, or a handbag, or lipstick, or cigarette, or something that you do that is really not adding any value to your life, please sacrifice that and put that $10, 10 pounds, 10 whatever into the struggle. The pictures speak for themselves. We see this every day. So thank you. Not sure if I'm still connected. I can't hear anybody. Let me check with our.
And it looks like with Comrade Waters. While our technicians do everything to bring them back, let's hold on and see what is happening. Maybe I can run on something here, and while I keep it up, okay, there you have Yaya. It looks like we've lost Waters. Yaya, can you give me a call using your phone, please? Because that's where I am following. I can't follow through the normal audio channel here. You give me a call so that I can follow up with you through my phone, please.
Okay, I'm doing that. Sorry, bear with us, fellow viewers. This is the revolution we never planned for, so everything is really learn as you go. So
yeah, this is the premiere of this program, and we are sorry for these technical difficulties. We promise you that next time we'll be best. So there I have Yaya. It looks like Comrade Waters is having some difficulties. Let me continue with you. Does the interim government of the Federal Republic of Amazonia have a website where they upload and register this genocide? I did hear in your last talk, you said that it's a genocide, which all of us have accepted that it is a genocide. Do we have a website where we register this and upload the genocide that is happening in our territory?
Indeed, there is, Comrade Jeff. I'm sorry I don't have the name of me, but I think it's Ambazonia Library. I'm not too sure, but there is a website that they collect these images. It depends on the active participation of everybody. So we're actually encouraging people to not just share these pictures amongst ourselves for the fun of it. We need to bring all this data, all this proof or evidence of what is happening. As we heard in the recent United Nations Security Council meeting, there are talks about investigating the genocide. Thank God we have Comrade Waters here who can throw more light into that. But yes, we do have a website. Maybe you carry on with Comrade Waters, and I can just get the name.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Comrade Waters, we're happy you are back. My question was, does the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia have a website where they upload and register the genocide that is happening in our territory? We did accept that we have one, and throw more light on that.
Oh yes, we have been able to develop a good number of websites. These ones, those that are done individually, those are done by some groups, but that is also which is done by the state. I think we have a rich library of all documentaries that has been kept carefully, resulting from the genesis of this our struggle, especially the most painful part, which has been very bloody. So everything that you want to see, we shall be able to remind our viewers as well as the entire Southern Cameroonians and the world in general of that website, which is going to be disseminated to you immediately after this broadcast in all our network, so that it could reach the nooks and crannies of everywhere the Ambazonians are residing. The reason is that Ambazonians, wherever they are, can use it in order to draw the attention of the international world, or might be as a justification wherever they go to meet different institutions that matters in this struggle, as well as statement diplomats, to name just this. That will help them to have a more strong justification and proof to what has been happening in the precious state of Ambazonia. So regarding the link, we are going to bring that at some point. Hello?
Yeah, Comrade Jeff.
Yes.
I just found out the link. It is the Amazonia Genocide Library.com. So Amazonia Genocide Library.com.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. Recently, acting interim president Dr. Sako was made the president of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. He was given full-fledged authority to act as the Amazonian president. Dr. Yaya, what has changed with this new portfolio?
Well, Comrade, as the name act president means acting. So you don't have the full legitimacy. You're acting on behalf of somebody. So I think this has been a question raising on the minds of so many. It's really not about acquisition of titles. There is an implication. There's a reason for that. I think, and that reason is simply Dr. Sako, as the president, has now the full mandate or the legitimacy to present Amazonia, in official dealings, in official handlings, for example, or in signing or friendly deal, meeting other friendly of Amazonia to discuss matters pertaining to current crisis. So, for example, the twin talk will be important to have a president and not an acting president, because an acting president simply means you have to be taking orders from somewhere.
Thank you with that. And we saw that when he became the president of the Federal Republic of Amazonia, he made a trip to Brazil. The Comrade Waters, the president visit to Berueri, a municipality in the state of Sao Paulo, Brazil, was a great boast and achievement for the fight to actualize the Federal Republic of Amazonia. Can you shed some light on that visit for us?
Oh, yes. Actually, this visit can be termed as a very historic one because it came at a time when nobody was actually expecting that there is going to be a new window or a new front that is going to be open in South America. Besides, there have been a lot of concoction of ideas and obnoxious conception about His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sarko Ekome. As a clear testimony to show all the Amazonians that he has never been asleep. Don't forget that before his arrival in Brazil, he has made a good number of diplomatic push. That very front was a very special one and a blessing to all of us. This is because it came at a time when that very municipality happened to be one of the biggest in Brazil. And as a result of that, it's going to act as a springboard to reach out to all the other countries in South America. That very municipality is a very influential one in that it's going to usher and encourage other municipalities. It will act as an eye-opening. This eye-opening is that each and every one will be drawn now to the attention of the issue of Southern Cameroon. From there, they will be able to understand more deeper, following the example which this municipality in São Paulo did. So I want to really say this move was a one that nobody was expecting, and nobody knew there was such a pressure opening that was needed in South America, until when we all were dazzled of such a precious acceptance that came as an additional booty and push to our struggle. So I want to acknowledge the fact that we need to give more support to our leader, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Sarko Ekome, because he is a visionary. He is a man who has a deep sense of understanding, and the approach he is taking is well-being and our collective courtesy, especially diplomatic push that is highly needed at this moment. So this very historical move, I want to say, has been one of the most enjoyable diplomatic relationship which we have been able to break through. And the result is a clear testimony, because immediately when that agreement and bilateral cooperation was signed, La République du Cameroon dispatched some of his diplomatic agents to go and interrupt the cordial relationship, but it conflicted with the reality because they were informed about the truth of Resolution 1608, giving Southern Cameroon a full status as an independent nation. This way, it has exposed again the reality and the justification of our state that we are struggling now to restore. So you can see that this particular move brought in a lot of advantage. One, making the world to know about the reality of our struggle, opening other diplomatic push from this standpoint of view, and making La Republic to come around to understand that they have right over that territory. So I want to say, we all must actually add an additional red feather on the cap of His Excellency Dr. Samuel Starkoi Kome for such a wonderful diplomatic.
Thank you. Yeah, Are we going to see more of these, more of these visits and achievements?
Oh, definitely. We're moving ahead. We're moving ahead, and we're very confident about in our leadership. And like Comrade Water rightly said, President Dr. Sako is making the right moves in the right direction. All of this doesn't happen by chance. There's a lot of backdoor diplomacy that has been going on, and lots of exchanges. And as we know, every aspect of this revolution. Sorry, there's a bit of requires funding. So people step in there, whichever that's through your counties, through your LGAs, fund the diplomatic moves. They are quite expensive. People need to displace themselves, and multiple meetings are required. So yes, why not? We have to see more of this, because when we started, let's just think as far back as 2016, no one mentioned our name. We're never heard on the public scene, on the international scene. But we're hearing so many different countries talk about us in their parliaments, the European Parliament, the German Parliament, the American Congress, you name it. So all of this is the hard work of Ambazonians at large, that under a visionary leadership. So we need to see more of this, because what we want to have, the outcome of this, is that pressure put on La Republique for us to come on table and we talk. We're talking on our terms, and and then negotiations can start. So this needs to happen. There's what we call tea-table diplomacy. Dr. Sako is not the only person who has to do this. All Ambazonians should do this at their various levels, especially the diaspora. Sorry. Okay. Especially the diaspora, just reach out to community leaders, reach out to church leaders, reach out to influential people in the society, reach out to local parliamentarians or representatives in whatever tiers of the government, and explain our case. Even if you don't know what it is or you don't know how to put it, we already have pre-packaged information on our struggle, already prepared by the Foreign Affairs Department. Reach out to these people, just have coffee with them and explain, and talk about our problems. And if everybody does that in every little municipality, eventually the entire world is going to know about our case, and they're going to follow suit with what the community in Sao Paulo did. And we have every municipality recognizing Amazonia, and eventually this is an international situation. So yes, we want more of this, but it takes every Ambazonian to engage in this tea-table diplomacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yaya. I must inform the two of you that I don't have audio from our direct audio line, so I'm relying on your phone, audio to be able to what the two of you are saying. So if there is something you can do, like maybe reduce the volume when you are talking, or when I'm talking, or when you hear it echoing, that would be great. I did call Comrade Waters. Now I'm following up from Dr. Yaya's phone. Yeah, let's continue. Comrade Waters, let's talk about the Swiss talks. Do we have any updates on the Swiss talks as of now?
Oh, yes. The Swiss talk seems to be one of the very sensitive forum through which we believe that all the key players as well as the actors should come together to find a solution for this very unpopular war that was declared to us by the president of French Cameroon, President Paul Biya Bimbondo. The Swiss talk seems to have come at a time when it has been wrongly received and badly understood by many persons. But I want to say there have been a very good news as far as the Swiss talk is concerned. Those who had stood against the peace talk or the Swiss initiative seem to have gradually become convinced that this call by the Swiss to mediate seems to be the right and the best approach through which each and everyone will be heard and a wise decision will be taken based on justice and wisdom. It has resulted to the fact that those who understood that that platform was a right platform fear to come to that platform, not because the platform was not a good one, but because the platform is the one that is ready to expose the reality of this debacle between the French Cameroon and the peaceful people of the Southern Cameroon. They have resulted to a lot of sabotage. And recently, some have even given the impression that the Swiss initiators are promising to back out, thereby discouraging the entire expectation of the people of Southern Cameroon.
Yes, Comrade Waters. Yes, that leads me to my next question. Like, there has been this social media frenzy that the Swiss government and the Swiss CHD, the Center for Humanitarian Dialogue, have backed out of the Swiss talks. This was debunked by Secretary Chris and many other Amazonians. Comrade Yaya, can you throw more light on that that theory which was debunked?
Sure. Yeah, I think the first thing we should say is that that's a huge, huge step in a region. Having this Swiss-led, it is Swiss-led, but an international talk, so to say. It is a platform, created or that has come into existence by international or different countries coming to that agreement that this is the way forward. As we know, diplomacy is what it is. We don't necessarily comment, especially at certain stages of, discussions. So I'm not sure why someone would be the Swiss talk. What is it about? The Swiss talk is really having a platform. It's a mediation platform. It is not saying that we are going to this or that. It's not come to that yet. But who doesn't want the suffering to stop? To see the children being shot? Who wants to see all these boys and men being killed, all these wounded people? Who wants to see all of this? So when Amazonians stand up and say they don't want the Swiss talk, I quickly think that they don't understand it. That's the first thing. Because if they understood, then that would be something that we have to celebrate. We really should be celebrating this as a huge success. This is 3 years of major suffering, of poverty, of you name it. And so we want a quick solution to this. We're not saying we're going to settle for less. We're saying that we need to have a platform where we can mediate and get to the final solution quickly. what is the point of delaying that to do that in 10 years? All we're saying is that we will be killed during those 10 years, and I wonder how many Amazonians will be left. And that is also just prolonging the suffering of people. So, congratulations to this for actually pushing through such agenda, and I think Amazonians should really inform themselves and support this move. Now, that is not to say talking about going. I mean, like, talking about the peace talks does not mean like you hear a lot of negative press saying, "Oh, that means we're settling for this or for that." It is a negotiation, like we all we have in our lives we've had conflict, be it in our families, be it at workplaces, be it with friends. You can twist your face and say, I'm not going to talk to this or that forever, but at some point, there's going to be a point of contact where two of you or two parties have to sit down and say, how do we solve this? So if this is happening in our revolution, it's such an early stage, 3 years. I'm not an expert with world conflicts, but we know, I mean, when we were growing up, the South African revolution took a very long time. And the Sudan situation took a very long time. But this is 3 years into the Amazonian liberation war, and we've already national world is already saying, yes, we need to put a stop to this. And this is the way, this is the voice we're using. We're using the Swiss talk. We have so many other countries that have endorsed this process. I don't know whether worth mentioning or not worth mentioning, but when this struggle started, we were doing massive protests all over the world. What was the intention? I think all we wanted to do was to tell the world to internationalize the problem, because yes, the international law is responsible, can be responsible for this. And now we've achieved this attention from the international world, and now we want to say it's not good enough. So I don't understand. But
yes, Comrade Yaya, thank you for that wonderful answer. I must add my voice to this debunked theory. It is not true. These have not backed out of the Swiss talks. I did logged into that website, African Intelligence, and I discovered that it is a website. It doesn't even have authority. So to say that the Swiss are out of the Swiss talks is a very big lie. Yeah, Comrade Waters, Ambazonia and the Cameroon Republic are parties to this dialogue. The HD and the Swiss are the referee. Do we know how committed these parties are to this initiative? By these parties, I mean the Cameroon Republic and Ambazonia. As for us Ambazonians, we know that we are very committed because we want this war to stop and the sufferings of our people to stop. Comrade Waters, like I said, do we know how committed the Cameroon Republic is to these Swiss talks? We lost Comrade Waters. Oh, he's frozen. Yeah. Did you? Yes. Did you hear my question, or I should take it over?
I did.
Okay.
I did. And Comrade, so just to even complete, add to the previous question about debunking, false allegations about the Swiss government or other stakeholders backing out of this process. That is not true. We actually saw in recent times, United Nations Council, where they are endorsing the Swiss talks as the way forward. United Nations Security Council, that is the world. Those are the guys who run the business. So if they are saying that, then there's no way anybody has backed out. In fact, we're having more and more endorsements from different countries. As we know, Canada is behind this. The United States, which is the current head of the United Nations Security Council, is behind this. We have Germany, we have the Scandinavian countries, we have recently Netherlands pushing or talking in our favor. So the streets are calm and moving forward. And this is the way forward because we want to mediate. We don't want the killing to continue happening, be it from our side or from the other souls being lost who are not responsible for irresponsible decisions made by barbaric governments like the genocidal one of Colombia. Yeah, so did I miss your question? What was the next one?
Yes, my question is, do we know how committed the Cameroon Republic is to these Swiss talks?
Oh, that's a dollar question. But I guess common sense tell me that they're not. Remember, this is a government that never ever gave an iota of importance to the lives of the people of the southern Cameroon. I remember when there was a time when the military pounded on our people and villages were razed and his wife busy taking selfies. You know, so this is a government that takes us to be treats us as dogs or anything or even less than that. So to have come to this stage where they are forced by the international pressure and then by the international world to sit on the same table with the same people they considered second class or even something less. You know, that to them probably is a big humiliation. But who cares? You know, and that's it. And the pressure has to stay on. And this is the request we have to the world. You must not pamper this government of La Republique du Cameroon. You promise that we will never have a genocide again. Sadly, this is happening. So, yes, of course, it's expected that they will be reluctant, but that is not the issue here. We are following a process, and if they don't participate, then I think the writing is on the wall.
Yeah, that's going to be my next follow-up question with you. What happens if a party is less willing or unwilling to commit to this initiative?
Say it again, please.
Yeah, what happens if one party, like you said, the Cameroon Republic, they are dragging their legs? If one party is unwilling to commit to this initiative?
Okay, well, this again is speculation, but I guess we always draw, you know, in things where we don't know what is actually what the right answer is. We go from experience. It's just like having a couple, you know, having problems, and invite elders of the family to come sit and mediate, and then you call on both parties. You call the wife and the husband, and if the husband or the wife doesn't turn up, doesn't give a reason, first of all, you mark your name on the blacklist, I guess. So it shows who has the right intention. So if La Republique doesn't cooperate, that simply tells the international world that they don't have the right, they're not doing the right thing. So they're actually giving into, you know, their actions, that they are the bad guys.
Thank you, Dr. Yaya. In a couple of days, President Sako will be talking to his people, the people of the Federal Republic of Amazonia. What should we expect to hear from the president's speech?
Oh, wow. I hope it's definitely going to be a speech of hope. I'm still speculating at this stage, but having followed his train of thought, I think he's a grounded person and a visionary. I am looking forward to a speech that would, you know, give our people hope to continue in the struggle, and one that is going to encourage cooperation, and as he's always, you know, asked for. We need that, especially now that we are going to the mediation table, if we have the participants actually doing what they have to do. So again, just a little flashback to the issue of the president. Being the president, it doesn't mean that he does everything on his own. It simply means that we have some mature or serious representatives of this cause in terms of the international um, world or community. And having said that, we need to be working with all Ambazonians. So we need to reach out to all Ambazonians, especially given the recent sweep talk, or the current, I think the recent. We need everyone on board. We need all across yeah, the spectrum of the different groups, if I may say, you know. So this is one thing I think the president is going to probably pay attention on, is again building the Ambazonian coalition team, which is a team that definitely represents more than 70% of all Ambazonians, and we hope, why not, 100% of all Ambazonians, despite our differences, despite our ideologies on how we should run the revolution. We want Ambazonians to be involved in matters concerning Amazonia. So I think that will be a cornerstone of his speech, you know, and also constituting the team of experts and negotiators that are going to represent Amazonia when it comes to that stage, because we need to have experts, you know, in various fields, you know, in the legal field, in finance and management, you know, and all those things to stand for Amazonia. So that's, and also he'll be paying attention, you know, on the restoration forces, which he has acknowledged that, especially recently on the 30th of November, which he declared Amazonian Heroes Day, to acknowledge the sacrifice that our men and women have put, or are still putting, you know, to make sure that this revolution stays on. So I think he'll be acknowledging them and all those who have lost their lives to this battle and their families. Yeah, that's that much I can think of. Maybe Camel Water is on, so we can hear from him.
He is still on, so we can continue. Yeah, the United States of America recently addressed a letter to the United Nations Security Council recommending a fact-finding mission to the South or to the Cameroon Republic. What do you think we need now? Do you think we need this fact-finding mission, or we need peacekeepers?
Do I think we need the fact-finding mission, or what? I think
or peacekeepers from the United States.
Right. Again, in my naive opinion about you know, these issues, I would think this is a situation that has to be approached from all fronts. I mean, there is no effort that we should undermine. You know, every bit of pressure is pressure. You know, the end point is that we want a quick and you know, we want to get to the mediation table, no matter which route it takes. You know, whether it's through diplomacy, whether it's through self-defense of ground zero, so be it. So if because after all of this, we will have to, the government of Mr. Biya will have to face the International Court of Justice for crimes. So why not? They are committing a genocide. There has to be investigations. That is on the part of the international world, not our priority as the Ambazonians. What we need to do is continue to fund this revolution, meaning we need to keep up with the self-defense. We need to make sure our restoration forces are up to it to defend themselves. Otherwise, you know, this enemy is still, you know, doing the evil that it's doing. So why not? It's still welcome. We are not saying that that's where it should end. We need to see a peacekeeping force on the ground, see humanitarian aid coming to the ground, and in addition to that, you know, the investigation into the genocide happening in our land.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yaya. There is another letter too from the French Parliament, which the French they have shown interest in this fact-finding mission. What is the position of the interim government, Federal Republic of Ambazonia as regard the France being part of this fact-finding mission to Ambazonia?
Yeah, not entirely versed on that. But, what I can say is, even when we talk about the French, that's just a generalization, isn't it? We're talking about the French government, but we also have people of good conscience who can stand out and actually denounce, the wrongdoings of their French government. And we could see in, I think recently in the parliament, you have one of the parliamentarians stand challenging the government and saying, in this country we value, we respect, there's respect for human rights, for human rights and human life. So the challenging question was, how then, or why is having kind of a backseat position, seeing that all these violations actually happening. So civil society of goodwill in France, and I'm sure we do, who stand up and say this is wrong, then we welcome that. We welcome that, and we hope we have so many of such voices standing in our favor, and that is why we have to, as Ambazonians, never underestimate the role we play by doing those small gestures or tea table diplomacy, reaching out to our local communities, and actually holding talks, so informing and sensitizing people on the truth of what's going on in our land.
Take you a little bit back concerning the Swiss talks. Is the interim concern that some Ambazonians are not working for this revolution, but are working against the revolution? This is a personal question to you.
Sorry, could you rephrase that again?
Yeah, is the interim government of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia concerned that some Ambazonians are not working for the revolution, but are working against the revolution?
Is the government concerned?
Yes.
Yes, of course. Every government would be concerned. What's the approach? What's the right approach? I guess responsible leadership does what good leadership does. That means staying focused, staying on track, on course. We have a big job ahead of us, and the sad reality is that innocent people are being killed as we speak. If that wasn't happening, if we didn't have all of that killing and the suffering, then fine, we can all pull legs, we can pull strings and play politics and do this and that, and bash each other. But the sad reality is that whatever we say or do, the enemy has not stopped. So we really need to be calling onto our consciences. I don't mind. We should have diversity. That's not the issue. We can have different beliefs or ideologies how we should proceed this, but we shouldn't get to the point of jeopardizing Ambazonia itself. That to me tells me that we're not really for this struggle. You can have a different mindset, but if you take any action that is going to penalize the people of Ambazonia, then you need to step back and really ask yourself who you're fighting, whether you are fighting the enemy or what is your motive actually. So this is my plea to everybody. No one is perfect here, but if everybody following their path they have chosen, keeps this question at the forefront. Whatever I am doing, is this benefiting Ambazonia or is this causing more pain? If it is causing pain to Ambazonia, then you have to stop.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Yaya. Yeah, the interim government of Ambazonia recently came up with a program to stop the revolution, the CID program. Please, can you use this opportunity to appeal to fellow Ambazonians to register into this program and support the revolution? Let them know that they can support this revolution as little as $10.
Sure. Thanks, Comrade Jack. Again, whatever we say about, advancing this revolution, and we give, really kudos to Ground Zero for putting up with such a difficult time that we are still going through. on top of strategy and whatever we do, money is key. So that is a no-brainer. Everybody knows that. So we're really pleading, let's not prolong the suffering of our people. Let's not prolong our own suffering. And let's get this as fast as possible over and get done with this mess of a time in our life. And we have been blessed or called, to carry this fight to the end. And living our best as if it was the very last fight. And it is seeming close. To be honest with you, I didn't think when I did looking back at last year that we'll be where we are this year. So why not just chip in deep and just cause yourself a little bit of discomfort, especially to the diaspora. Reach out and just dig deep. Let us get this job finished and save our people. We have a lot of work to do in terms of nation building. We have a lot of repair to be done in terms of emotional, psychological damage. There's a whole generation that needs to be counseled, needs to be rehabilitated. This is big stuff that is ahead of us. But please, first of all, let us get rid of this chopping and killing and cuttings and useless deaths. And this can happen if you fund so heavily that we put the enemy under pressure that they succumb to that pressure and come to the table. So please dig deep. It is simple. Whatever you're doing, cut it down. Whatever way you live, just cut it down and just, sacrifice something. Be the packet of cigarette, a bottle of beer, a handbag, a lipstick, you name it. Do that, please, and fund this revolution. Go to the Amazonian, again, sorry, my memory isn't so great, but I checked that. The CID website is, oh my God. Bear with me, people. Yeah, so it's www.cid.ambercitizens.com. It is your pride. One message I have for the diaspora: we have come out here. We are being launched, by these beautiful countries, as we call them. Today for Bush, not for Bush, and all that is good. But do we know the histories of these countries? They have gone through bloodshed to be where they are. And so we cannot sit and just fold our arms and be so selfish. I call it selfishness. Because you have a line that you say, oh, somebody got my money, or somebody did it. How much money? I'm not justifying that money should be eaten. But what I'm saying, or the question I'm really asking you, I'm challenging your conscience. Your question you're asking, does that stop a gun from killing a kid, an innocent kid? The answer is no. And if you stop to offer your 1 pound or 1 pence or dollar or euro, just because you have questions in your mind, and then you need to check your conscience. I don't think you're acting right, Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yaya. Yeah, recently I spoke to a group of young people, and I was joking with them that they are not helping or supporting this war have consequences. You are somebody who is around the government circle. Do you think there shall be consequences unto those who are not supporting this revolution present?
Well, I'll leave that for Amazonia to decide. But I think, first of all, there's a human consequence. There's a divine consequence to you, to any individual who fits and has the capability of making a difference and chooses not to, because of a silly reason. If you believe in God, He's going to judge you for that. So, first of all, that's the first. And whatever penalty, if we may call that, we may call it so, that should be levied on people who did not contribute. I don't know what's the best answer. We are trying to build a democratic country where decisions are deliberated and decided by the majority of the people. So I leave that to the hands of Ambazonians. We will get to that. But what is very clear is we have the records of all those who are doing something for this revolution. So all those big thinkers who have beautiful ideas out there, they think they have all the best projects in the world and are waiting for some slaves to get a free Amazonia for them before they come and do their big investments. Hello, we have those ideas as well. So, but this is not the time. Preserve those ideas, keep them down in your project management books. Come, let us free homeland And then we can do all these things to make Amazonia the best, the greatest on earth. So yeah, that's the way, that's my approach. So your conscience is the biggest judge. And so people should dig down and really ask themselves the straight questions. Am I being honest? Am I not contributing because of this, that, or that? You know, should I not be contributing? If not, why not? The child, a 4-month-old baby who is being shot in the head, has nothing to do with any money that was squandered. That child simply needs help.
Thank you, Dr. Yaya. I am happy. I hope they are our people who are sitting on the fence. I call them the do nothing people. I hope they are listening. Yeah, let's opportunity to communicate to our people. The ABC Amber TV is the leading medium by Amazonians are informed and updated about the revolution and the war. There is the Amber Club. Please, Dr. Yaya, can you appeal our view join this club to contribute and to tell them that contributing to the ABC Amber Club is as little as $5. Please.
Oh yes, thank you. And I think I swerved again from one of your previous questions. Wow, we're here today because of the Amber TV. This is the national TV. This is this is the channel formed with first-hand quality information. It is a TV that runs kind of on a no-hate policy. We try to discourage that as much as possible and focus on the good things or the projects or the vision of our revolution. We have come a long way, and we're getting better from day to day. And definitely without this TV, there will be no connection between us and Ground Zero. So this channel has been that link to keep us all together and united. So what more can I say? Please come on board and keep this TV running. We do have bills that have to be paid, and you can join and become a club member of the ABC Amber TV by going to abcambertv.com, if I'm not mistaken. User friendly. All you need to do is click on that link, and you will see a highlight in blue, I believe, that says join the club. And you just click on that. You have the options of paying different amounts. The good thing is that these are reasonable amounts that you can just spend on, going to McDonald's and having a coffee. You can just give up that coffee, and you will be able to pay $5 or £5 or €5. Just come to think of it, if 2,000 of us or 5,000 just paid $5 a month, that will be able to take care of our bills, and we would be able to reach out to our people back home. Well, mind you, there is, and we have seen recently how Secretary Chris has brought international speakers on that forum. That's a big step. Please, Amazonians, we should learn to appreciate good things. Let's not all engage in negativity and just talk about the things that aren't working right. We should learn to tap ourselves on the back and say this is going right, and therefore we should improve on this. So please join the Amber Club by clicking on the link www.abcambertv.com and becoming a member. It's very user friendly. Within 2 minutes you're done. And the same appeal goes to the CID. Some of you may ask, what is the need for the CID? We are contributing to our counties, to our LGAs. Why then the CID? Of course, our counties are managing business from the grassroots level, which is great. They're doing great, and we need to fund our counties as well. But we still have the bureaucratic side of things, the diplomacy that is happening at a national level, and we've seen this wonderful results. The Swiss talks. We've seen recently the recognition of Amazonia, in Brazil, which is a start of many good things to come. All of these things need funding. So please just keep the negative side. Whatever you think has gone wrong, let's move forward. We're learning from our mistakes, And this is a revolution that got nobody prepared. You know, we never went to school to learn how to run a revolution. And whether you question or you don't question, our people are being killed. So this is where I'm saying, whilst you're questioning, do something to quickly bring this to an end. So please fund your counties, fund your LGAs, fund your ABC, Amber TV, and kudos to Secretary Chris and his able team, you know, for creating this platform for us Ambazonians to talk to ourselves and also to reach out to the international world. Thank you.
We have 20 seconds.
I hope Kondo is back. Can he try connecting, please?
I don't, but we have 20 seconds to go. We don't have him again. And it looks like he's still frozen. Yes, this is a personal question to you. What should Ambazonians expect in 2020? 30 seconds, please.
Wow, I'm very excited. I don't know, but I look forward to it. I believe there's going to be divine intervention. There's going to be a breakthrough, and we're going to leap forward in this struggle. Yeah, I'm only praying and hoping that people will put in the money that we need, and things will go in the right direction. But I'm very hopeful. Just looking at the trajectory, 3 years, and we've achieved so much. I am very, very hopeful. So let's keep the faith and fund the revolution. So quick end.
Thank you, Dr. Yaya. And with that, we come to the end of our program for today. We must apologize to our viewers that in the premiere, we had a lot of technical difficulties. I must thank the two of you, especially. It was a great pleasure having the two of you here today, and see you next week. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas to you and to your families.
Thank you so much, Comrade Jeff, and what an honor to be hosted by you. Thank you so much for all you do. I'm thanking everybody who is doing so much for the program.